Hi, and this is the last video on practice paper 1. So we're going to cover time and looking at a holiday. So let's quickly look at the time first of all. We've got a train leaves Perth at this time, arrives at Stirling at this time. How long does the journey take? Now, you really need to be showing how you're working this out, so please show your working. So 0251, how am I getting from there to 0440? The first thing you've got to do, let's add 19 minutes to this. So if I add 19 minutes, it's going to get me to 0300 hours. And then I want to get to 0400 hours. So that's going to be plus 1 hour. And then to get to here, I'm going to put the arrows in there. That's another 40 minutes. And then we just add up the times. So that's going to be 1 hour, 40, 59. So 1 hour and 59 minutes. Just do a quick sense check on that. That seems fair. Nope, sorry, nope. Again, a bit late. That is just 9 minutes. I was thinking that seems fair, but that's something not quite right. So it's 1 hour, 49 minutes. So sorry, 9 minutes to get up to 3, an hour to get to 4, and then 40. So yeah, sense check on that. That seems much better. I was going to look at this thinking 11 minutes to the 2 hour mark. Because some people might have said, well, if I add 2 hours, that gets me to 4:51, and then I take away 11 minutes to get to that. You can do that as well. So yeah, that's where I spotted my little mistake. So that's your time. And please again, show the working. This says minutes as well. It's a terrible, terrible bit of handwriting. It's very difficult with this pen. I'm still getting used to it. There we go. The next one, we've got Jenny. Okay, Jenny's flown from Edinburgh to Venice. So I'm just going to write Edinburgh to Venice. So again, please get into the way of thinking about your working. The plane left at 22:57 Edinburgh time. Okay. And I arrived in Venice at 0209. 0209, and again, that's in Venice time, Phoenician time. So the time in Venice is 1 hour ahead. How long is the flight? So Venice is 1 hour ahead of Edinburgh. So this time in Edinburgh, actually, if I want to convert that to Venice time, that's then going to be 23:57 Venice time because I need to add 1 hour to Edinburgh. So the time in Edinburgh is 1 hour behind Venice. Yeah, Venice is 1 hour ahead. So if they're an hour ahead, I need to add 1 hour to my original destination. So now I'm going from this time to still to 0.209. And then we do the same thing as what I've done up here. Well, how do I get to 0000? I'd add 3 minutes. And then how do I get to 209? I'll add 2 hours, 9 minutes. Then if I add all that together, that's 2 hours and 12 minutes. So have a think about your times. You're converting one of them into a different time, and the best thing to do is to take your starting destination and convert that. So Venice is 1 hour ahead, so we need to add 1 hour to this. Okay, so if you kept say you were flying off from Scotland and you arrived in Venice, your watch would be 1 hour behind. So you could actually have kept this time and taken an hour off there. Right, that's dead complicated. I'd rather just say, right, I'm going on holiday. They're 1 hour ahead, so I need to put 1 hour on my watch. So that's the time that it really is. And then that's the time when I arrive on holiday. My watch now makes sense. So we add an hour to the beginning, and then it's the same as that. Simples. Just going to move that to the side. And now I'd say this is probably the trickiest bit of the whole thing. And I'm probably going to make a mistake in this, being honest, because it is late and I'll try not to rush through it. But yeah, it's very easy to make a mistake. So Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, so 2 adults and 2 children, aged 2 and 8, are wanting to go to Spain. So Spain for 2 weeks during the summer. They started looking at the price of flights with Scottish, which flies from Edinburgh to Malaga. The table below shows the cost of flights. So we've got all of our costs, extra costs, and insurance. Okay, so it's 2 adults. I'm just going to write this down. So the 2 adults. If I can spell adults. I've got 2 children, 2 and 8. And I'm going to write 2 weeks in Spain. So that's a kind of, yeah, a kind of basic, again, the pen's let me down here. That's the kind of basics of what all that says. So the Robinsons chose to fly with this airline. What will the total cost for flights only? What is the total cost for flights only? Okay, so for flights, here's our flights here. We've got an adult, so we're going to take this times 2. We've got a child at 2 and a child at 8. So we've got one of these and one of these. So our first calculation for flights would be this. So I would say that's going to be 364 times 2 plus 320 plus 145. So I would expect that to be 1193. So it's just taking your time, having a think. We've got 2 adults, we've got a child under 3, a child over 3, them up. So that's me just kind of highlighted the most important information, written it down. I think we're now fine for that. And then it gets a bit more complicated. So pay for 3 cases. Okay, where's my cases? I've got 1 case is 50. So for a case, I'm going to say it's £50 multiplied by 3. So that's 150. Still pretty straightforward. Reserve seats for everyone. Seat reservation is £8 per person. So that's going to be £8 multiplied by the 4 people. So 8, 16, 24, £32. Okay. Pay family insurance for their stay. So this is where it starts to get a bit bigger. Family insurance. So we've got 14 days for 2 weeks. That's this one. I've got an adult. I've got 2 adults. I have got an infant, so no infant, and then I've got a child. Or I think this wants us to use the family package of 2 adults and 4 children. So it wants us to select this number here, because if I did 2 times 1350 plus the 675, that would be higher than that. So the family insurance is going to be 28.70. And if they pay by credit card, see here's a charge of 19.50. Now sometimes the questions don't break up as nicely as this, okay? So make sure you do. Make sure you have a line of working for each of the things. And then we're going to see if they're within budget. So we're going to add everything up. We're going to say, let's see, 2 8. We're going to say 1193, which is our flights, plus the 150 for the cases, plus 32 for reserve flights, plus the 28.70 for insurance, very prudent, and then plus the 19.50 for paying by credit card. Again, helps protect them if there's ever a problem. Make sure your holidays are at all protected. So that's 1423.2 is the total, which is less than the 1,500 budget. So they are within. So yes, they have enough. So you want to numerically kind of work out how much they've got, compare it to the budget with a less than or greater than symbol, and then say yes or no. So yes, they have enough, no, they don't have enough. But this is the question which a lot of people really struggle with, and it's just because of a huge amount of data thrown at you. So take your time. A lot of them are very similar to this. Think about who you've got, adults and children, and look at your tables. Just take your time, work it out bit by bit. There's a mark for almost every single bit of information here. So if you get one little bit wrong, you just lose 1 mark. Yeah, and that's us. I hope that's the end of the paper. So I hope that's been helpful for going through things. Again, if you're struggling with any particular aspect, please check your class notes. Also go onto the National 5 website. There's lots and lots of examples on there. This paper, for example, is on there, and also at the very end of it, there is a marking scheme. So if you go to, well, not a marking scheme, but there's answers. If you go to the end, you will see those answers. So hopefully that is that's helpful, and yeah, good luck. Thanks.